What is the good word? Welcome to the Higher Call, the Christian Sports Fan podcast. I'm your host, Dan Satterfield. God is good all the time, my friends. Go Lake Nona Lions, go Seas, go Bees, go Pats, go Sox, and go Cougs. Throwing it over the wall to my co-host today, Dante. How are you today, Dante?
Doing great, brother. I'm Dante
Yay.
from DanteDreams.com.
Nice. Really great to have you here. And Dante is a lifelong Chicago Bears fan.
That's
And
right.
and so we're going to be talking about the NFC North today. So Bears, Lions, Packers, and Vikings. So really exciting. A lot of traditional powers. And yeah, we're going to get into it here. But first, some interesting intro banter. Dante, do you like the Olympics?
Yeah, I do. I like certain sports in that.
Nice. And do you prefer the Summer Olympics or the Winter Olympics?
I like them both, but I think there are more sports in the summer that I like.
Yes. And so this is interesting to me, and I looked it up because I've always had this question, and there is actually an answer recognized by the International Olympic Committee. Which country, quote unquote, wins the Olympics? The country that has the most gold medals or the country that has the most total medals?
I guess most total.
I know. And you know what? That's kind of like the American method. Like on NBC, they put total when they sort. And they say, okay, this country's above this country based on total medals. But it's actually not that. The International Olympic Committee goes by gold. There is a country that actually wins the Olympics, and it's always the country that has the most gold medals are first. So I thought that was a interesting little tidbit to put in your pocket today. So yeah.
And who wins the Olympics the most? I would assume it would be the USA, correct?
Yes. Every time on my AI prompt, it just kept trying to say the USA is the best, and I'm like, that's not what I'm asking AI. Okay, say country A wins the most gold medal, and say country B wins the most total medals, and they're different countries. What would happen in that scenario? I literally had to type that out because yeah, AI was just spitting back like USA's the best. It's still the best, and I'm like, dude, AI, calm down. I'm sure you've been there.
AI lies. I use it. I leverage it, but AI lies a lot.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's get right into the Chicago Bears, the monsters of the Midway. How did you become a Chicago Bears fan?
Well, I grew up in Chicago, and I remember when I was in kindergarten hearing stories about this amazing Superman named Walter Payton running down the line on one leg. So, yeah, it's just I'm from there, and I love them.
Awesome. And is Walter Payton your favorite Bear of all time, or is there another?
I would say yes, Walter Payton, but the name Bronco Nagurski is amazing.
Yeah. And also Refrigerator Perry. People used to like him.
Man, that 85 squad, they had a bunch of jokers on that team. Like, there was a G.I. Joe figure of the Refrigerator Perry.
I did know that. He was on the show.
Yes.
He had the C on his shirt.
McMahon, Singletary. Oh man, the 85 squad was amazing.
Yeah, and they beat my Patriots, and at that time I was young, but yeah, that was the Patriots' first Super Bowl they ever went to, and they got demolished. Back then, the NFC just ruled everything. But they also had a rap. I remember that, the Super Bowl Shuffle. I think was that them? Yeah.
We are the Bears shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, but we know we're good. We're doing it for your neighborhood. And then Walter Payton had a specific line. His line was, "My name is Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like making romance." Oh, yeah. That is living rent-free in my head.
That is awesome. That is amazing entertainment. That's why we wanted Dante on the podcast right there, ladies and gentlemen. We could just stop it now and it's good. But getting back to kind of modern day here, the Bears had a little renaissance season. They won double-digit games last season. They won their division, which is a tough division, and a lot of it was thanks to this guy Caleb Williams, who has come up on the scene and has just shattered some rookie records, has really exceeded all expectations. How have you seen Caleb Williams so far, and how do you look for his sophomore season?
This is actually his junior year. This is his third
Oh,
year.
last year was his second. My bad. Okay. Wow.
So he's amazing. He has done amazing things, and I don't. On the screen when you watch him, he doesn't seem like a very large person, but he's a very big person, like
Yeah.
physically. Just he's 6 plus something, but he runs like a gazelle. He's great,
Yeah.
and he's done these amazing. Just I don't know. He's cream of the crop. He's
Right.
cream of the crop. Yeah,
Right.
and I think he's only getting better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I actually watch more college than pro, and came out of USC, and I like to, think of myself as an amateur scout, that I try to guess these quarterbacks, but quarterback is such a tough position to guess at. But I really did not see it. I thought, has all the intangibles, right? Good legs, fast, good arm, can throw it. The physical attributes, are great. I just thought, mentally, and then also just accuracy, just didn't think that he would be, hugely successful in the NFL. And it's really amazing to see how he's turned around, especially last season, which I mistakenly thought was his first, but it was his second. But yeah, he's been super impressive, and has really exceeded my expectations. So how do you think the team looks this year, besides Caleb Williams? Do you think it's going to be kind of more of the same, more double-digit wins, or you think they're going to take a step back, maybe?
No, I think they're full speed ahead, and I think they're the pedal to the metal because they made some changes. And I was a little concerned because a lot of the people they lost or traded were like playmakers, like DJ Moore. I'm like, whoa, why would they get rid of that guy? And I can only assume I didn't pay a lot of attention during the draft season, but they've got a great coaching staff. I'm just assuming that they are improving,
Yeah, yeah,
improving where they need to. Because this team is the same team. Well, okay, the 2025 team was pretty much the same team from the 2024 season,
mm,
where the Bears had a losing season, but all those games they were losing by 1 point
yeah,
or very, you know, small margins.
hmm,
And it was the 2025 season, they were winning those games by small margins.
yeah,
So it was pretty much the same team. It was just a different mindset. It's the coach. It's Ben Johnson,
yeah,
who helped them believe. It's tough for Caleb. I was concerned that he would be another quarterback that went to Chicago to die.
yeah,
Chicago, who they've had great quarterbacks that have done well, but they either were not supported or they just, I'm not sure what happened. They were not the one. But
yeah,
I don't think it can ever be the one. I don't think it could ever be just a quarterback. You need the team to be fully, everyone needs to pull their weight. And
yeah,
that's one thing I noticed about the Bears last year. I noticed like a lot of blocks like from receivers, like
yeah,
Roma Dunze. There was one game where he did not catch a ball, but he was on the line blocking for the running backs. I'm like, wow,
yeah,
what is that all about?
yeah,
And I think there's some sort of witchcraft that he's doing, proverbially. I mean,
yeah,
that he's doing that he's activating the entire team to work,
yeah.
not just the quarterback.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned Odunze. I mean, I even saw it from a fantasy perspective. I had him on at least one of my fantasy teams, and you just kind of saw it all turn around for the skill positions there of the Bears, where it was like, oh, like we need to get some more Bears receivers off the waiver wire. We need to get some more Bears running backs off the waiver wire because their offense just really kind of unexpectedly took off, along with Caleb Williams' stats there, and man, whoever got Caleb Williams late in some of those drafts, gosh, just a great pick. But yeah, they look really good, and I just think as the year went on, and I think they have a lot of momentum coming into this season. talking to some of the other co-hosts in the other division previews, I mean, I said it and they all agree. This is really, a team, you think like NFC dark horse. The NFC is really deep, but this is really just a fun team to watch, and it's a team that I think all the NFL is really interested in seeing this season, to see if they can keep up what they did last year and maybe even build on it. Um, Something really interesting about the Bears too is I'll mention this is you guys have my favorite football player of all time from the University of Houston, still the NFL career leader in passing touchdowns, the immortal Case Keenum, your third string quarterback, and
Is he with them now? Case
yeah,
Keenum?
yeah,
Oh wow. I just know the Bayesian fellow. Bayesian is
yeah.
doing real. How long has Keenum been there?
I think this is only his second year.
Okay.
So he spent 1 or 2 years with the Texans, so he's like a mentor at this point. Like they're paying him to be a coach. That's really he'll get out there in preseason, but I don't think they would really put him into a game. But ever since they allowed them to keep a third quote unquote emergency quarterback as a roster spot, like you don't have to put him on the practice squad, he's made a living out of that. And so yeah, he's have a double digit year career because in an emergency, he can come out and he can still win you a game. He won a game in 2024, stuff like that. So yeah, it's but yeah,
So
he's
he's an
he's
older
awesome.
player.
Oh, he's really old. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he was almost playing when I was in college, and
Wow.
he even like took a year or two off and like went back to the NFL. It's his career is insane, but he's just the best teammate you can have, and really, like I said, he's gonna get a job as a quarterback coach. Actually, the Bears, you can look it up. There's an article. The Bears asked him to go into coaching. They were like, okay, like, can you stop playing and just like be a coach? And he's like, no, I want to stay on a roster. And they do think a lot of his mentorship. He was on. You remember the Texans when C.J. Stroud had that amazing rookie year? That was Case Keenum. Like Case Keenum was the backup then. And now it's the same thing with Caleb Williams. And so he's really making a name for himself as a mentor, while still making NFL player salary, not coach salary. So it's a good life for Case.
That's a beautiful story. I didn't know that. The last time I was had my eyes on that third string was there was an HBO documentary in 2024, the Hard Knocks, I believe it was, and
Yeah,
we had Bayesian, and then we had two other young guys, and they featured well in the documentary, but they just disappeared. So I was assuming they got cut or moved on somewhere. But this is the
nice.
first time I'm hearing about Keenum.
Yeah,
That's I'm
yeah.
gonna I'm gonna research this now. I'm gonna pay attention.
Yeah, the gunslinger. We actually would at Houston. We hoped that he would come coach us some year, start as quarterback coach or whatever. But he's not. He'll coach the NFL. Definitely. He's got a job when he wants it. But
When you
let's
say
go in.
coach us, who are we talking about?
Oh,
Patriots
the
or
University of Houston. Yeah, the Houston Cougars. Yeah,
is that you? Is that where you went to school?
yeah, yeah. Go Cougs! Class of
Nice, nice.
2002.
I'm a UCF Knight, so go
Yeah,
Knights, class of
yeah.
2003.
I love UCF, man. They're one of my favorite schools that I didn't attend. I hope one of my kids goes to UCF. If not both. So yeah, I've been to their football games, been to their baseball games, been to their volleyball games, been to a
We'll have to
concert
go.
there. Yeah,
We
yeah,
really
yeah,
need to go then.
absolutely. I love the Knights. All right, cool. Well, we're gonna transition over to the spiritual topic now. Could you talk a little bit about kind of the way that you see kind of your sports fandom and God, faith, that kind of thing, kind of intersecting in your life?
Let me think about that. Well, I've been going to UCF football games since I was a freshman,
Hmm.
and I've been to a couple of Bears games, and I'm one of those fans that I when I'm in the stands I go nuts. I scream and yell and freak out, and it's interesting in retrospect thinking about it, is like, why do I do that? Why do I get so excited about that?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I guess God made us like that, to act that way, I guess. I don't think I've done it unrighteously at all.
No.
But when I think about praise and worship, I also think that's how I should act. That's how we should act, you know?
Right.
And
Right.
and I'm not often screaming and yelling in church, but praise is one of my favorite things about church
Yeah.
is honoring the Lord with my voice and with just yeah, praise and worship. And
Yeah.
and I want it to be as intense as my cheering for football or sports.
Yeah, I love
It's a
that.
different thing though.
Yeah, no, 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 but I love that, and actually, when we used to meet as the South and East regions in the church we go to, um, one of our preachers, came up front and he did, it was more tongue in cheek. It wasn't, a rebuke or anything, but it was, hey, football is coming up, and so everybody gets excited about football. He's like, let's all get excited at church, like, and you've probably heard that from the pulpit before. And
I
so
have.
this actually happened. I got an idea. I was like, okay, we're going to do this. So I took the middle school class and we made signs. We had a big sign that said football and then the less than sign and God. So like God greater than football. And I forget what the other sign was, but I think it was just like go God or something. And then we brought glitter and we got a Gatorade bucket. And after church, we took signs and started cheering, and we dumped glitter on the preacher. Um, so
That's
so we
funny.
actually did do that.
Was that Marshall? You
It
got
was
Marshall?
Bill. It
It
was
was
Bill.
Bill. That's funny.
And so yeah, so yeah, it was like right after church too. We're like, get him, and the kids loved it. But yeah, you saying that reminded me of that. We should do it again. We should do that again. So if you're on
Great.
the pulpit, you better watch out.
Oh, there's one other thing about spirituality and sports and being a
Yeah,
fan. I noticed that and I was totally UCF games and UCF fans back in the day, especially my pre-Christian days, were horrible. There are some people that take fandom to the next level
yeah,
and done super super unrighteous things, taunting teams and taunting other, fans or
yeah,
whatever. And I don't think that is so. I think rivalries can become unhealthy,
yeah,
but I love rivalries. I love our rivalry with Green Bay, you know.
yeah.
But I also love Green Bay fans. Somehow my niece became a Green Bay fan, so I was like, oh dang, now I gotta. Uh. No, but I think sometimes people take it a bit far and they're like, I hate that team. I feel a different way about you, or something like
Right,
that.
right.
And
Yeah,
I think that's something we really need to tame. And while rivalries are
I, yeah,
fun, it's like it's just a game. You can still
yeah,
love the guys on the other team, especially in church.
yeah,
We, we gotta love universally people inside the church, outside the church, people that are different than you.
yep,
And so yeah, I think that rivalry thing is dangerous, and just the idea of the other and not loving them or not
yeah,
loving them as much, and that's something I think we're called to do. You know.
yeah. Absolutely. Be curious, not judgmental. Ted Lasso. And,
What season? Is that the latest season?
I don't know. It's when he was throwing the darts. I mean, it's throwing the darts at
Oh,
the dartboard. Probably
that's
season
right.
1, season 2. Yeah, probably
That was a
season 1.
great scene. That was a
Yeah,
great scene. I want to watch. I want to rewatch that. I think a new season just came out, so I got to rewatch it all.
it's like you're a Lakers fan, and I can't stand them. Can you tell me more about that? All right. Well, you mentioned the Green Bay Packers. Let's go into a little bit more talk about the NFC North and about the other teams in the NFC North. Um, and let's start towards the bottom as far as the projected standings go. And you have the Minnesota Vikings, who are now playing in their beautiful indoor stadium. Kevin O'Connell is the head coach. I think they're expecting Kyler Murray to start. And so coming there from the Arizona Cardinals, how do you kind of see the Vikings this year?
So there are several teams that I think are going to be challenging, and I think it's going to be one of them is the Vikings. I haven't been paying attention to their team or
Yeah,
how well they're doing, but they are one of the teams that are on my radar that like my spidey sense goes up and it's like, oh, they're going to be a challenge. And I do
yeah.
think the Vikings are going to be a challenge. When you talk about what's the internet saying? Are they supposed to be a good team this year or no?
So it's interesting. The NFC North has, if you combine your projected wins, I think they might have one of the most. Now, in my, in my opinion, I feel like the NFC West is the best division in football. So the Niners, Seahawks, Rams, whatever, the Cardinals are terrible, but Niners, Seahawks, and Rams. I mean, I just feel like those are all three, like any of those guys can win the Super Bowl. Now with Chicago, their projected win total according to Hard Rock is 9.5 wins. The Detroit Lions, their projected win total is 10.5 wins, as well as the Green Bay Packers, which is a little surprising to me that the Bears aren't number one there. And then the Vikings, they still have a lot of respect for them, 8.5 wins. I mean, out of 17 games, that's 8-9. They're saying like the bottom team, if they just go a half a game under, is going to go 8-9. I mean, that's pretty. That's a lot of Vegas love.
Wow.
Because I'm seeing a lot of going through these division previews. I mean, I'll see teams, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. So your division is very kind of scary here.
A lot of
Yeah,
competition.
yeah, absolutely. Someone I'm really interested in too. When you start thinking about the Packers, how do you kind of see Jordan Love's progression?
Stand up, solid guy. But I think last season, man, his last game last season, I could see the chinks in the armor. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I see self doubt there, you
yeah,
know? And
right.
so the Packers are definitely a challenge, and he is definitely a premium quarterback. But it's like that line in Predator. If it bleeds, we can kill it. It's like we've seen that they are mortal, and
Right, right.
we you know and it last year the Bears and the Packers all tied games. I believe they were tied multiple times in at least 3 games. They played 3 games, I think, last year,
Yeah,
and they were really close. They lost one, they won one, and they were tied multiple times because they were so close to each other's level.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
quarterback wise, team wise, and again, they're going to be one of the major. I hope I didn't jump the gun talking
No,
about
you're
the
fine.
Packers,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think they're going to be another major. I'd say the most like in the division at least biggest challenge.
Okay.
And but the way I see it, and this is just opinion. I don't follow football closely, just my Bears.
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing, and it's a biased perspective, is that the Bears are on the ascent, and they are gonna most likely be a dynasty.
Hmm.
And the Packers have had 20 years of great teams, right?
Yeah.
They've done really good. But
Yeah.
I think we're seeing they're on the decline.
Right.
We're like, and we're passing. We're crossing. And it's interesting to watch because, okay, I'm gonna get into this rivalry a little bit.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
I've watched 20, 30 years of bad Bears teams. Or, they every okay, they went to the Super Bowl 20 years ago. They lost. 20 years before that, they went to the Super Bowl and they won. Your Patriots. And so it's like they go in hibernation for 20 years. They've had good teams,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but they reach a certain point and they choke, or they see the promised land and they can't make it in, or just years, decades of bad Bears teams. And you know what?
Mm.
That's your team. You love them.
Right. Right.
You don't. I love them. I love them bad news Bears or winning Bears.
Yeah.
In those bad seasons, they're standouts, great players, um, and a bunch of quarterbacks that got ruined, unfortunately. But you love your team, and there are memes out there about Packers, like people that film themselves as Packer fans watching the games and the meltdowns. Oh my gosh, have you seen those?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Those
goodness,
are
it's
great.
like,
Yeah.
oh my, they're so entertaining. It's Schadenfreude, and then I kind of feel guilty enjoying that. But it's like my advice is, it's your team. You love them or not. If they fail, you gotta love your team. And then these guys are like, oh gosh, some of those meltdowns are epic. And I'm like, oh, they recorded themselves. They probably should not have done that.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah,
Well,
I think we're still really close. It could go either way. I mean,
mhm.
the Green Bay could stomp us, but
Right.
I think sometimes teams just put on the extra sauce because they know they're going to play a team. Like,
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins always do that for the Bears. They're like,
Yeah.
I'd like to be a Dolphins fan. but I will never be because they're the only perfect season team. And in 1985,
Yeah.
the only team that beat the Bears were
Oh
the
wow.
Dolphins.
Okay. All right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like we could have been there. That was if there
Yeah.
was ever going to be a time.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
85
It was a
Bears are
great team.
almost.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
but I used to live in the Caribbean, and it's funny. The people in the Caribbean, they come up to Miami. Usually, it used to be Miami. Now it's Tampa. To go shopping or whatever.
Hmm.
They have a lot of relationship with Miami, so they're all
Yeah.
Miami fans. And when I grew up there, I was like, oh, all right, Dolphins, they're cool, right? And then I put that all together. It's like, oh wait, I can never be a Dolphins fan.
Well, let me ask you about another team here, the Detroit Lions, right? So, Dan Campbell comes there and he immediately just turns that whole franchise around for a season or two there. I mean, they just looked so good. And I mean, they just looked like they were, rising up and all that, but then last year they go 9-8. Kind of a disappointing year compared to what they were doing before, where they were kind of looking like one of the maybe five best teams in the league or so. Do you think the Lions are going to get kind of their mojo back, or do you think they're kind of on the way down?
So I have not seen what adjustments they've made, but the Bears did them dirty. They stole the Golden Fleece. They stole
Yeah,
Ben Johnson,
yeah,
and I
yep,
think he was a big part of Detroit's success.
right,
It's funny when they play the Bears or when they did last year. They played tough, and I'm like, okay, they probably know all of Ben's tricks, but I haven't seen what their adjustments are. So I don't think they're
yeah,
out of the game,
yeah,
and I don't think they're gonna go you know, become cursed like they
yeah,
were like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I think it was.
yeah,
I think they're still up there. They're still a threat,
yeah.
and but I see them maybe less of a threat than Green Bay.
Okay, all right, nice. All right, well, we're gonna go rapid fire here, summarizing the NFC North, and just your best guess, and for those out there, this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, you don't need to go spend a bunch of money on this stuff. This is just for fun banter. But we'll start at the bottom and just do a little rapid fire here. Minnesota Vikings, 17 games, remember. Minnesota Vikings, 8.5 wins. Do you like the over or the under this year for them?
I'm gonna have to say the Bears. Or are we just talking about them? Are we
Yeah,
just
just
talking about
them,
the Vikings?
8.5 wins. So you're probably saying under.
Yeah, under.
All right. And now the Green Bay Packers, they're at 10.5 wins.
I'd say over. I think they're gonna
Over.
do good.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Detroit Lions, same thing, 10.5 wins.
Under.
All right. And finally, you have your Chicago Bears. They're at 9.5 wins.
I
Yeah,
think
see, I
they're
would take, yeah, I think that's the best bet. I think Chicago Bears, if you can get 9.5 with them, I don't know what the plus minus is. But yeah, I mean, I think they're going to win more than 9.5 games. Totally.
I think they're gonna go all the way, unless there's like a big hiccup, unless there's a something in the gears. I think the win. I think we're going all the way.
Nice. All right. We're going to count them up specifically here. We're going to go game by game with the Chicago Bears schedule. But first, we would love to thank our sponsors. Check out All Too Traveled on TikTok for short travel videos. You'll want to be out of the woods in your getaway car with the heartbreak prints of your wildest dreams. So calm down, shake it off, and visit All Too Traveled on TikTok when your schedule has a little blank space. And so that's All Too Traveled on TikTok, ALLTOO Traveled. And our other sponsor, if you're over 40 and running on fumes, check out Bill Ellis and the Father Figure Framework. Simple, faith grounded habits for strength, energy, and leadership at home. Learn more at BillEllis.coach. That's BILLELLIS.coach. The script says pause. Back to the show. All right. So, Chicago Bears game by game prediction. All right. And so let's see what we can do here. Let's go find Chicago Bears at least 10 wins this year, probably more. And you start out the year pretty well here. You're not starting it out too bad. Going down to North Carolina to play the Carolina Panthers. You see that as a win or a loss?
I think they're gonna be a challenge, but you know what they say in Chicago, Dub Bears.
All right. Dub Bears. All right. And then you get into week 2. You're already going into division. Luckily, you're back at Soldier Field. You're playing the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. Again, I think in our division, I think they're like the third most dangerous. I'm just assuming. I don't know anything. But
Yeah.
the Bears.
All right. All right. And then it gets tougher. You got a primetime game, Monday Night Football, still at Soldier Field, but you are playing Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I wouldn't be surprised if we lost that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna win. The Bears.
All right. And Sunday, October 4th, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. You have still at Soldier Field, so you have to play some road games sometime. But you're playing the New York Jets.
You know what? I haven't really paid attention to them. Let's see.
I
Yeah,
think
we're
you'll be
gonna
fine.
stomp those guys. Yeah. I think we're gonna, just, Bears and Jets. They're gonna tear them out of the sky. Roar.
Yeah, there's
Bears.
like 3 or 4 teams where it's just like, does anyone actually, pick your team to lose to them? It happens, right? It can happen in the NFL, but yeah, I would say you'll beat the Jets. All right, so things get tough here. Lambeau Field, your date is October 11th, 4:25 p.m. Eastern on Fox. The weather should be okay October 11th, but how do you see things going out your annual trip to the frozen tundra?
So Green Bay. I think they are. They are the opposite, like antithesis, nemesis. If anyone can beat us, it's Green Bay. So I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Bears. But something tells me that the Bears are going to win.
All right. And then it gets a little easier. You go down south to play the Atlanta Falcons in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. How do you see that game going?
Let me just what are their projected wins at?
Not very good. And people keep like we do these things, and people, I mean, I think a Niners fan said they were going to lose to the Falcons. I think a Bucks fan said they were going to lose to the Falcons. And I'm like, why are you guys? Yeah, it's not a but. It's like 8.5 at the boat most. And I'm like, why are you guys? What is this Falcons thing? And they were saying Bijan, he's good, but it's like, okay, there's a lot of running backs. So was Barry Sanders, and look how the
So
Lions
the
were most of the time.
Falcons, they're not really on my radar, but there's
Yeah.
something about them that is threatening. I feel like they could be a challenge, but I definitely think the Bears are going to win.
All right.
The Bears.
Thursday night football, Super Bowl 1985 rematch in Soldier Field against the New England Patriots.
Dude, I thought that it might be the Patriots Bears again last year, and
Yeah.
the Patriots, another challenge.
Yeah.
That could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears lost that, but the Bears.
Okay. And now we have the Super Bowl champion from last year, and you have to go to their place in the Emerald City. You're playing the Seattle Seahawks on November 2nd.
Yeah, that's going to be challenging. Have they kept their squad together? Are they projected well?
They've lost a few, and they are projected to take a minor step back. Their win total isn't what you would think it is for a Super Bowl champion. It might be like 10.5 or something. But yeah,
where the Bears are.
They've lost a little bit, but their nucleus is still there.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a more challenging team. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears lost.
Okay.
But I really think that they're going to win, though. So the Bears.
All right. And then you have 3 games in a row on prime time. So you have a Thursday night game, New England, Monday night game at Seattle, and then you come back home for a Sunday night game against Bill Ellis's team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You know what? We're going to stomp them.
All right.
It might be close, but we're going to stomp them.
Yeah, Bill thinks the Bucks are good, and they're actually mid. Okay, so Sunday, November 22nd, and Sunday, November 22nd, little easier here. Back at Soldier Field again, the New Orleans Saints.
Saints in Chicago. Yeah. We're gonna. Yeah, they're gonna go marching home. We're gonna win.
All
the
right.
Bears.
All right, and November 26th. Oh, it's a Thanksgiving game. You guys play Thanksgiving.
Right.
You are at Detroit.
So, man, Detroit. they're going to be challenging for sure. Um, but I think the Bears are going to put the sauce on for Thanksgiving. It's going to be a special game. They did it last year. I believe they
Oh,
won
they did.
their Thanksgiving game.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they played at night.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
so either at this point it's going to be a great season for the Bears and it's just going to be like blitzkrieg, or this will be one of those wins that they just pull out. You know, horrible season. They beat Detroit, but definitely the Bears are going to win Thanksgiving.
All right. Starting out December, back in Chicago to play the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jags have a special place in my heart. I love Jacksonville, but
Oh,
the Bears,
all
the
right.
Bears, they're going to stomp them out like they beat them in London. I actually saw the Bears play Jacksonville in London
Oh,
in
wow.
2024. And that was the first three games of that season were like, oh my gosh, the Bears are going to go all the way. And then, I don't know. It was like,
Was it at
brain
Wembley?
fog. No, it was at Tottenham.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's go, you
Yeah.
Spurs.
And it's funny, the British, the Londoners, they all come out in any NFL jersey, right?
Yeah,
There were a core group of Bears fans that came from Chicago,
yeah,
but they were just wearing every Browns. I was like, "Is that a Bears? Nope, that's a Browns jersey." But then
yeah.
the poor Green Bay people, they were like, sprinkling of Green Bay fans there, and the Chicago fans were relentless. But that was a great experience in London.
Nice, nice, nice. And like Will Smith once said, I'm going to Miami, Sunday, December 13th, at the Miami Dolphins. How do you see that going?
So the Dolphins are good. They did good last year, didn't
No.
they?
I
Didn't? I thought
think
they
so.
they were on the upswing. Or was that 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Tua got
like
injured. They
oh
didn't do
yeah.
well last year.
So like the rest of Florida, the Bears are gonna stomp them out. They're just gonna wreak havoc. They're gonna eat dolphins like they eat salmon. So the Bears.
Nice. And then we have this is a tough one. Uh, okay, December 19th. Okay, prime time, Saturday night, because we're getting around holiday time, so they start having a weird schedule. Um, and you are at the Buffalo Bills.
That's gonna be a tough one. They're doing pretty good, right? Uh,
Yeah,
Away games are tough. But we're built for that frigid tundra, man. The Bears, train like they play. They're a cold weather team, so it's going to be a close game. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Buffalo Bills beat us that day. But I have to go with the Bears. The
yeah,
Bears.
sure. All right, and then your return game, Christmas Day, 1 p.m. Eastern on Netflix. So early game there in Chicago because it'll be a noon start Central Time, and your return game against the Green Bay Packers.
So I've been joking around saying these guys might beat us. And I think the Bears are going all the way this year, right?
Nice. Yeah,
But our division, they're the ones that most likely are gonna beat us. And
yeah,
this is gonna be, like I said, the Green Bay Packers were very similar teams, skill, strength, stat wise. I think the Packers. I haven't paid attention to what they're doing this season. Like I haven't even paid attention to the Bears. But my feeling really is that the Bears are going up and the Packers slightly are going down. So
yeah.
I think the Bears are going to turn it up for a special game like Christmas, and we're
Nice,
going to win. I wouldn't be
nice.
surprised if the Packers beat us, but you know, like Ditka,
Yeah,
Bears, the Bears going to win. Just with
nice.
Ditka.
All right, and then we have Sunday, January 3rd, the Detroit Lions in Soldier Field.
So at this point in the season, like I said, either we're like going, it'll be known we're going to the Super Bowl, or it's going to be, like, oh my gosh, we're going to pull this one up from. So I think the Detroit Lions they're going to be a challenge, just like they were last year. And if anyone's going to beat us, it's going to be them or the other guys in our division, like Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota. Um, so if anyone's going to beat us, it's going to be them. But in my heart, and the sausages in my stomach, I think it's gonna be the Bears. Bears are gonna win.
And then finally, um, the second week of January, it's a flex game, so we don't know the day, time, or channel. But you're at Minnesota to end the season.
I
And at
think we
that
might lose.
point, if you are 16-0, you're trying to go 17-0, you are going to rest all of your players.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna lose that. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes,
But
we
but
can only
Bayesian might step up and just make magic happen. I mean, hopefully we won't need him at that point. Like there's no injuries or whatever. But if Bayesian's playing, that guy has got a great arm. And I
Yes.
think he inherited that from his dad because his dad's a professional arm wrestler. Did you know
Yes.
that?
No,
Yeah,
I did
pretty
not
good.
know that.
He's one of the big guys. He's like a champion or something. So
Nice. Nice.
so I think the Vikings. I don't know. They might do Minnesota. They might do it. If anyone's going to beat us, it's going to be Minnesota. So yeah, we'll probably lose to them that game.
All right, cool. So the 16-1 Bears, I think you have them winning the Super Bowl. So they're your
Yeah.
NFC champion.
Oh
Who
yeah.
do you think the Bears are going to beat coming out of the AFC? Going to pick an AFC team?
Oh man. Or the what's Mahomes' team?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
That's AFC, right?
It is
Yeah.
AFC West.
Yeah. I don't know if Mahomes is recovered yet, or is he playing again?
The rumor is he definitely is playing again, and the rumor is that his recovery has gone very well. And that he is locked and loaded, and they actually got a couple players from the Seahawks that they're excited about, and so yeah, I don't like the Chiefs. Travis and Taylor didn't invite me to their wedding. It's this whole thing. But yeah, yeah, they're for the neutral fan, they're a good pick if you want to go with Mahomes coming back and getting back together.
I think we're just gonna beat them in general, but no, I think it's the Patriots. You're
Oh,
gonna
the
be
Pats.
they're gonna be the ones. I think we're going all the way, and we're gonna do the Pats again. It's gonna be 1995 all over again. They don't want to
Sounds
make
good.
new stories, man. There's like they're gonna go with what works.
That's awesome, man. Dante, I really appreciate you being on the higher call today. Anything you mentioned your website, email address, anything that you'd like to plug to our fans before we sign off?
Sure, sure. I have a website. I have a webcomic. It's DanteDreams.com. Most of my socials are on there. I'm on Instagram and YouTube and Twitch. My gamer tag and my YouTube channel is Danticus. That's DANTICVS. There's a U instead, or there's a V instead of a U. I don't own a CBS. Anyways, so yeah, so there's me playing games and other stuff I put on YouTube. So
Nice. And I'll get those links and we'll add them to the show notes so you guys can check out what Dante's up to. Really great guest, and I loved it, man. I loved it. It was awesome. So was it as bad as you thought it would be?
dude, I was a little okay. I've done a podcast before, but who doesn't get nervous about recording for posterity? So I was like, what's it gonna be like? But this was actually really fun talking about something I love a lot: the Bears in Chicago.
Nice.
Faults and all, I still love that place, and I love my Bears. And I'm glad I get to talk about it. And this was a
Yeah.
great experience. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We love Chicago too. We've gone a couple of times. The last time we went, it was just me and my wife, Kelly, and we stayed in Streeterville. Went to the Starbucks roastery and I mean we did we did all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it's an awesome city. Love the Chicago River and that whole area. It's just a lot of great restaurants and met some friends there and yeah, great city to visit.
It's a beautiful city. They call it the Paris of the Midwest, and in
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
ways, a lot of the architecture started, after that Great Chicago Fire. So it was
Yeah.
really a well planned, beautiful city, and it still is today. Despite
Yes.
all the brutalist architecture, all those big squares there's still a lot of beauty there.
Absolutely. Great city. All right. Well, as we wrap up today, remember this: whether you're playing, coaching, cheering, or even officiating, every person on that field is made in the image of God. Yes, even the referees. even the bad ones. Thanks again to our sponsors, All Two Traveled on TikTok and Father Figure Framework with Bill Ellis, for supporting the higher call. If you enjoyed today's conversation, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like, subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with another sports fan. And we'd love to hear from you. Email us anytime at highercallpod@gmail.com, just like the show name, Higher Call, and then pod, P-O-D, at gmail.com with your questions, topic ideas, hot takes, or just to connect with other like-minded sports fans. Until next time, folks, keep your eyes on the game, keep your heart on God, and thank you for listening to the Higher Call.